Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai Mashiach and Christ and fall up under that UPK banner is my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up, it's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race to make merchandise, how to buy bills. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round. Approaches better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool zone. Go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grip. Back up. Give grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay daily. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, where the truth sit, hey, where warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall on his age. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Lonely one west. Say what? Lonely one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grip. Back up. Give grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down.
Hey, Shalom. We're the ISBK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. It's not under Commanding General Yohana. It is not truth. Right. And we've been bringing this out since 1969, that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. And our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this is the Wednesday night biblical law class. Let's give it up. Tonight we're gonna get into learning to control your emotions. You see what I'm saying? Like learning to control your anger. You see what I'm saying? A lot of our brothers and a lot of our sisters are being destroyed because we do not know how to control our anger. Right. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna get into what anger is and how the Most High expects us to exercise or deal with our anger. You know, if I could, let's look up the definition of anger. Let's see what that is. You know, we're gonna break it down because and we're gonna get into a few stories as well, because what we seeing is a lot of brothers and sisters are being unalived because of anger.
Right.
We don't know how to control our emotions. You know, a lot of times when we get angry, we act like that's justification to do whatever and to whomever we want to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I always say, like, you got a sister that she may be in the world, you know, and she hear that her husband or her boyfriend, you know, is considered cheating on her. You know, she's ready to unalive him. You see what I'm saying? And she feels justified because she's upset.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's not how we control our anger. So, you know, we're going to get into, you got the definition of anger?
Come.
Go ahead.
Definition of anger. A strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility.
A strong feeling of displeasure, annoyance, or hostility. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, anger is an emotion.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Anger is an emotion. Anger is something natural. You know, anger is one of those things where it has its purpose. You know, when you get angry, that's to signify that something's not right. Something's off. Something's not just. You know, we're going to get that in the scripture too. Hold that definition. Let's start in Ecclesiastes. Let's start in Ecclesiastes 7:7, brother Kishore.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
They say, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for you to be angry, you know, especially when you're being oppressed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? There's something unjust happening to you and your people. You know, so in that case, what do we do? Like, how do we express our anger at oppression? You see what I'm saying? Did we go and do what the oppressor is doing to us? Did we go pick up, go get firearms and go start attacking them and start doing Lord knows what, doing what we want to do, and pretty much repaying them for what they done for us? Is that how we express our anger?
We take it out on the people around us, which is our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we do. We definitely take it out on each other. But I'm saying, is that the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do for us to go out here and attack, other nations of people because of our oppression? Like, is that what our anger is driving us to do?
I won't say lie. The revenge is of the Lord.
Yeah, revenge is of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to realize that in our anger should drive us to serving the Lord.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Our anger has to drive us to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and being obedient to the word of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is the only one that can exact vengeance.
Right.
The way it needs to be, the way it needs to be exacted. Meaning, you can get angry and you can go out here and you can lay hands on somebody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What does that do? What does that do in the long run of things? You see what I'm saying? It does nothing. What it's going to do is you're going to get locked up, or you're going to get unalived, or you're going to unalive somebody else, and either you're going to go to jail or you're going to go away from this earth. You see what I'm saying? That's how responding with anger in a negative way. That's what it does for us. You see what I'm saying? However, we got a Most High power that fights for us. You see what I'm saying? So in our anger with oppression, what we need to learn to do, what we got to start doing, is saying, you know what? I'm so angry. I'm going to serve the Lord because I know the Lord is the one that can punish them for all their crimes. You see what I'm saying? But this is why we have to be taught, because, just a little personal story. Like, my son, he plays youth basketball. You see what I'm saying? He's 12 years old. And when I tell you, it'd be like Royal Rumble, WWE about to happen every tournament we go to. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you this: just as much as this class is going to be, for men, it's just as equal for the women. Because what you see a lot of women out here. You see a lot of women out here that get angry, and they feel like because they're angry, they can say whatever they want to say out their mouth, They feel like they can get in men's face. They feel like they can touch people. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do. And that's how things happen. You see what I'm saying? When we don't control our anger, we feel justified in doing whatever the hell we want to do. And what happens is, typically, when a man responds to a woman in a situation like that, what's the next step? What's she gonna say? Who's she gonna go get? She gonna go get her husband. She gonna go get her boyfriend. She gonna go get her brother, her cousins. She gonna pull them into a situation that they don't even know that she was the one at fault for.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And behind that, brothers and sisters are losing their lives because we do not know how to harness our anger. We do not know how to harness our emotion and use it for the good. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we're going to get into tonight. You can drop that for a second. Let me get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26, Brother Michelle.
Come.
And if there's anybody online that got questions in their comments, just put them in the chat.
Slap yourself. 4:26, sir.
Yeah, come on. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26.
Come. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
It say, be ye angry and sin not. Like, just like you can be happy, just like you can be sad. Anger is an emotion, and it's a common emotion that we all have. It's not a sin to be angry.
Come.
It is a sin what we choose to do with our anger. You see what I'm saying? So the scripture just said, be ye angry and sin not. What does that mean?
That you can be angry in certain circumstances, but that's not supposed to lead to you sinning, which is what happens to a lot of us. For a lot of us, we might become angry about something that's going on. Be like, you know what, yo, I'm finna smoke this weed. I'm finna do this or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. See, when we get angry, like I said, that's a license for us to do whatever we want. The Most High laws don't matter no more when we get angry. You know, the laws of the land don't matter when we get angry. We just kind of feel like, because I'm angry, I can do whatever I want to do in this moment. You see what I'm saying? But just like any other emotion, it flees. You see what I'm saying? So like, you can be angry and 10 minutes later, you can feel completely different about the situation.
Right.
But if we don't learn what to do with our anger, that emotion that we just experienced in that anger will take us away from our families. It's going to take us away from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens. It say, be ye angry and sin not. That means do not do something against what the Lord told you to do.
Right.
It say, sin not. It's okay for you to be angry. It's okay for you to feel some kind of way. You feel this oppression. We feel this oppression. We feel this injustice. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the situation with the brother just got, the police just pulled the brother out the car, whipped on him. I mean, punched him in his face, threw him, pulled him out the car, punched him out the face again. You see what I'm saying? That's enough to make any man angry. You see what I'm saying? But the scripture said, be angry and sin not. Go ahead.
So what you're bringing out is real heavy, because if you think about it, this where the personal relationship with God comes in.
Yeah.
Because what happens is we be like, yo, I'm angry, so I went and did it, but God knows my heart. So He know when I went and robbed, yo, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really want to do it, you feel me? But at the same time, I was angry.
Yeah.
So that's why Christianity just played us.
Yeah. And that's why, like, and what you're saying is heavy, because that's the emotion that's what we always fall back on. You see what I'm saying? We always fall back on, I got my own personal relationship with the Lord, which is so far from the truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why here in the UPK, there's protocols for every single thing. It's ways that you can fight that kind of injustice. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you the ways right now. You see what I'm saying? If you're a brother, if you're a sister, the police pull you over. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Listen to all their commands. You see what I'm saying? Listen to their commands, because they already want to do something to us anyway.
Right.
Listen to their commands. And when they do something and they move the wrong way, whether they move the wrong way or not, first thing you want to do is you want to get a name and you want to get their badge number. You understand? You want to see what district they're from. What district are they out of? Where do they report to? Get all their information the same as they're getting yours. That's what they have to give you. You see what I'm saying? And what you do is you follow up on that. You report those incidents. You go down to the station and you file complaints and you file reports. You see what I'm saying? Because the one thing, and I'm telling you this through experience, the one thing the police department don't want to do is work. They do not want to work. You see what I'm saying? So if you coming down there and you know, not only you see what I'm saying? You bring your peoples with you. You know, we all want to file a complaint. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't heard nothing in 2 days. What's going on with this case? What's going on with the investigation? Who's the lead on this investigation? You see what I'm saying? I'm so angry that it's going to make me follow up.
Right.
It's going to make me stay on top of this situation. That's how you fight. That's how you change things. You see what I'm saying? And when I say change, they unfortunately ain't going to change the police department, but you can change the course of what's going on with you in that particular situation. Good, yes.
Also, you get pulled over. If you just say like, "We'll get your supervisor," they have to get their supervisor.
Well, some places is their discretion. They can either they can or they can refuse it. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you get their name and their badge number, you see what I'm saying? You can always go down to the precinct. You can go down to the precinct after you get out of the situation. That's the most important thing that we got to realize. These police are hunting our steps.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what makes us angry, because we know we're being hunted.
Right.
So since we know we're being hunted, what we want to do is we get information on them the same as they're getting information on us. We go to the station, but we have to get out the situation.
Right.
They looking for any reason to unalive us anyway. You see what I'm saying? So this is us telling our people, this is how you handle the police. You know, comply. You know, do what they ask you to do. You see what I'm saying? But make sure you get their information and you follow up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Let's get some more of that scripture, Brother Sure. Read it from the top.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
It say, let not the sun go down on your wrath. You see what I'm saying? What that is saying to us, a lot of times, and you see this a lot of times when you know, between spouses, or you got a parent and a child. You see what I'm saying? In these type of relationships, if you angry with your spouse, if you angry with your spouse, if you angry with your kids, the scripture just said, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Meaning, you gotta be willing, you gotta be proactive, and it should be a speedy, it should be something that you're willing to do right away as well.
Right.
Don't let this linger on. Don't let your anger manifest and linger on. You see what I'm saying? If you're mad at somebody, go to him and go to him alone. Deal with the situation. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what the Bible has commanded us to do. If your brother offends you, and when I say brother, I'm talking about like if you're a husband, your wife, this applies to that situation. If you're a father, this applies to your kids. If you're a mother, this applies to your kids. You see what I'm saying? Go to him and him alone. Hey, Salaki, I ain't really appreciate what you did. You see what I'm saying? Kind of got me feeling some kind of way. If they say anything other than, hey, my bad, it wasn't my intention, you know, my apologies. They say anything other than that, now it's counsel. You know, in the school here in the UPK, we set up what we consider counsel. Counsel is when two brothers can't agree on an issue, so we take it to account. We take it to men who outrank us for them to decide on the situation once the facts are presented. You see what I'm saying? And we go with whatever judgment is rendered. You see what I'm saying? If you're in the world, you see what I'm saying? Even if you're in the world, you can still contact the school and get counsel. You see what I'm saying? But you got to have the spirit not to hold on to anger. You see what I'm saying? And read the next verse because it's going to tell you why.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. Neither give place to the devil.
It's a neither give place to the devil. That's why you don't hold on to anger. You see what I'm saying? You don't hold on to anger because you give place to the devil. What that means is Satan is in the midst of all of that. If you angry and you holding on to it, you know, a lot of your sisters, when you get angry, you don't want to talk.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You start backbiting, you start running your mouth about brothers and stuff like that, about each other. You see what I'm saying? Brothers, you know, same thing. You run your mouth about a brother and stuff like that behind his back. What you're doing is giving place to Satan. You see what I'm saying? Satan is in the midst of all of that. And if you're not willing to go and work this issue out with this brother, or this sister, or with your child, or with your spouse, you are giving place to Satan right now. And he's going to destroy that relationship. He's going to destroy your household. He's going to destroy you over it. You see what I'm saying? This is what the Lord is saying. Read it again.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. Neither give place to the devil.
They say neither give place to the devil. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. If you're upset and you're angry, why wouldn't you want to deal with that situation and get over that offense,
right,
with the person who offended you? What reason would you have not to do it? You see what I'm saying? What reason would you have not to do it other than the fact that, one, hey, I just don't like it. I don't deal with you. I don't rock with you. You know, it is what it is between us. You carry it your way, I'm going to carry it mine. That kind of spirit is the spirit of people who don't really mess with each other. You see what I'm saying? Another one could be, a lot of people don't like being accountable. A lot of people don't like having that accountability factor when you might be wrong. You might be wrong in this situation, you feel me? And you got to face that. But at the end of the day, you got to do what the Lord say. That's why the Lord say, be angry and do not sin. If you angry with a brother and you don't go to him, you're sinning.
Time.
The Lord told you go to him and him alone if he offends you. You see what I'm saying? If the brother got you that angry, why wouldn't you want to go and talk to your brother? You feel me? Other than the fact that Satan is all the way in you. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, yeah, son.
Like, well, I got two, but so the first spirit you brought out, where it's just like, yo, I don't even rock with, so is that unlawful?
Yeah, so the thing is, if you angry at a brother and you don't want to go to him and you don't want to swear things up because I don't get down with him, like I don't deal with you. That is unlawful.
What if you're not angry? You just like, yo, just live. Stay over there.
Yeah, but all right, so let's take it to a brother in the school. You got a brother in the school, maybe different personalities. You see what I'm saying? Is that the spirit you're gonna have with a brother in the school to say, yo, just weird? You see what I'm saying? No. No, that's not the spirit that we should have with each other, period. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing for you to go to a brother and the brother rejects you and say, listen, I don't want to deal with you. You see what I'm saying? Especially in the world.
Right.
It is what it is at that point. You see what I'm saying? Like, how they came to this brother. He don't want to mend things between us. So at the end of the day, I leave away yet. But it shouldn't be on you to say, you know what? Yo, shorty weird, man. I don't deal with him like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you're giving place to Satan. That's what that is. Because Satan wants you to feel like your brother is weird. Satan wants you to feel like something's wrong with your brother. That's why the scripture talks about how we have to prefer each other.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to prefer each other. We got to choose each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what the Lord requires of us. But
like, but what if it's a person you can't even talk to because you already know it's going to go up?
It's like, well, you know, and it's like it, but this is most women. You see what I'm saying? Honestly, you see what I'm saying? Like, if any brother you done dealt with a woman, you see what I'm saying? When she get angry, or say she done did something and she done pissed you off, you feel me? You already know that when you go to her, she gonna make an excuse for everything she just did. Is that reason for you not to go to her and still tell her?
It's like, no, I'm saying, so it's certain people you can deal with in the world where, like, you already know it's going to go to another level once you go high level. So, like, how do you deal with that? Like I've been in a situation where I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to be prepared because I already know how you'll be trying to carry it for real.
So, and this is why it's so important to know the law. You see what I'm saying? So, like the scripture say, go to your brother, go to him and him alone, right? It said, if your brother does not receive you, it said, then bring a witness. You see what I'm saying? And here in the ISUBK, that's what counsel is. You know, two brothers, you go to counsel over that. So let's say, you know, it's you got a couple homeboys out here, and you know, you went to one of them. He like, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. And you take another homeboy with you, and he like, man, I ain't hearing none of y'all. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's the brother you got to cut off. That's the brother you cut off. You see what I'm saying? Because some brothers just don't want to reconcile. Some brothers just don't want peace between you or whatever you got going on. Them kind of brothers you got to leave alone. Like that's what the Bible teaches us. It said, you know, treat them like a heathen, damn it. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you ain't got to keep going and begging and, you know, begging for somebody, you know, to have a conversation with you, or keep trying to explain yourself. Hey, you'll see it from this angle and all that. No, because here's the thing. If we had real brotherhood, if you came to me with an offense, I would feel some kind of way. You see what I'm saying? Like if we really exercise the brotherhood, and you say, hey, Matazz, but listen, I ain't really like the way you came off. I'm gonna be like, damn, like I'm gonna have to look at myself first. Like I may not even realize the situation or how I came off to you. You know, I'm like, hey, slack, my bad. You know, I ain't. That wasn't my intention. You see what I'm saying? And at that point, it's dead.
Like, I'll say that's real. Because remember when we was at the camp, and I came to you at the camp, I'm like, yo, my bad. I ain't mean to say it like that. And you like, bro, it wasn't even nothing. But in my head, I'm like, yo, I ain't want to offend my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't nothing, but it's just like, I see what you're saying. Like when somebody would say something to you, you like, yo, you'll check yourself. Like, yo, could that be misconceived as something? You know what I'm saying?
So, and that's what brotherhood. That's what brotherhood is. So that's why you got to check your anger. You see what I'm saying? Check your anger and check your emotions. You see what I'm saying? You know, sometimes we be out. Sometimes, you know, you know, like we all battle. We all fight. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you may come off a certain kind of way. It may not be your intention. And you don't even realize it in the moment. So when a brother come to you and bring it to your attention, like, yeah, you can be like, damn, I ain't even see that, man. That wasn't on purpose. You feel me? It's like it. And at that point, the issue is dead. But like I said, you know, going forward, that's why we got to follow the scriptures, because if we don't do those things, now we're doing something that the Lord told us not to do. And that's when we get placed to Satan. And Satan is going to destroy you. You see what I'm saying? Satan will destroy us if we do not do what the Lord say. You see what I'm saying? We see it every single day on the streets of Baltimore, in any black, any hood, any Hispanic barrio, any reservation. If we got issues with our emotions and our anger, I don't care where you're at. I don't care who you're around. You're going to be destroyed if you don't want to do the things the Lord told you to do with your anger. You see what I'm saying? Was it any more on that?
Right, sir.
Let me get Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1 and verse 22, Governor Bishop.
What's the verse again, sir?
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1 and verse 22. And like I said, anger is not a bad emotion. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know a man that don't get angry.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, as a man, how can you be happy all the time? You see what I'm saying? Something has to make you angry. You get brothers walking around here and they act like everything's sweet all the time, like they don't get mad. They not being real with themselves. You see what I'm saying? Every man gets angry. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with getting angry. It's what you choose to do with that anger is what matters. You got that?
Come.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 22. A furious man.
Hey, what?
A furious man.
A furious man. Go ahead.
Cannot be justified.
Cannot be justified. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's get the definition of furious.
Come on.
See what furious mean.
The definition of furious, extremely angry.
Any more?
It's like let me see the phone.
I got extremely angry, full of intense rage or wrath. You see what I'm saying? That's what furious means. Extremely angry, full of intense rage or wrath. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see some brothers, and it's like, some brothers are so furious, they're so angry, they don't know what peace, they not looking for peace at all. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you watch anything on social media, the brother, what's his name? Four Extra. From moving Cali. I hit him. Why I got that shit? I said, give me all 10 off. Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? Like, for what?
Right.
Like, what do you want to go to prison just to fight? You see what I'm saying? Some brothers you can't have, it's like they don't want peace. You can't have peace with them. You see what I'm saying? That's fury. That's being furious. You feel me? The scripture say, read that scripture one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 22. A furious man cannot be justified.
I say a furious man cannot be justified. What justification do you have for doing the things that you do?
All right.
You see what I'm saying? You mean you're going to unalive the brother because he looked at you a certain way? How can you justify that? You're going to unalive somebody because, they got a certain color shirt on? How can you justify that? You see what I'm saying? You're going to unalive somebody because he ain't from your hood? Because his grandmother had a house on the next block, so now he's your op? How can you justify that? You see what I'm saying? You can't. It's a furious man cannot be justified. Keep going.
For the sway of his fury shall be his destruction.
It say, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. You see what I'm saying? That fury and that anger, when used incorrectly, will be your destruction. You see what I'm saying? That's how we see it. Like, we see that each and every day. You see what I'm saying? Brothers get so angry and they so furious that one or two things happen. Either you're going to take somebody away from here, or they're going to take you away from here. Both of y'all going to get affected because one going to die and one going to go to jail. You see what I'm saying? And I'm using the brother named Four Extra as an example because he the one, his whole social media rise has been on fighting when he got in prison. He just blew his hand. He just blew like fingers off his hand. You see what I'm saying? Now you got a reputation that every time you go into the prison, you fight 10, 20 people. You think they're going to give you a breakdown because your fingers got blew off? You see what I'm saying? Now you're going to have to see people when you go in there for real now. It say his fury shall be his destruction. And we see this far too often, not just in brothers either. We see this in females as well. Black women, Hispanic and Native American women, you have to learn to control your anger as well. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to stop. Every time you get angry, you feel like you can say and do whatever you want to do. You see what I'm saying? That's sinning against the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Like you take a woman, she'll love her man to death. You feel me? Until he tell her no. Then he's all types of no good. You know what? She taking the kids from him. She calling the police on him. She feel like she can put her hands on him and nothing's going to happen to her. That anger and that fury will be your destruction.
I was gonna say that's like the one story that was on the internet when the girl found out her man was cheating on her. She went and tried to light his car on fire. And she ended up burning almost her whole face for her.
I remember that when the car blew up. She was right there. And now the man that you tried to blow his car and set him back and blew your face half off. And now this same brother that you hated so much because you were angry, now he got to nurse you back to health.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you just tried to kill me. It's like you tried to unalive me. And now I got to nurse you back to health, and your face is halfway gone. You see what I'm saying? That's what anger do. That's what anger do. And unfortunately, we not taught how to govern our emotion. We not taught how to govern that anger. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're always taught that anger is such a bad thing, so no one wants to deal with how do you deal with your anger, and what do you do when you get angry? You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people can't answer that. A lot of people do not know. They don't have they call them coping skills. When you get angry, you got to do something to calm yourself down before you go out there and ruin your entire life and destroy yourself. You see what I'm saying? But we never deal with the issue. If you look at men, like I teach my son. You see what I'm saying? I think it's a good practice. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn to breathe. You see what I'm saying? When you get angry, you got to learn to breathe out. You see what I'm saying? Like, that breathing in your nose and out your mouth, that will calm you down. That will calm you down some and get you out of a situation. You know, you got to have coping skills. You got to have things that you do that put you in a space to where, though, okay, I'm not going to go out here and do something I know I shouldn't be doing. What's another thing we should do when we get angry?
I always contemplate what's going to happen. My father always told me consequences no matter good or bad. So once I get angry, I contemplate, like, when I go do this, what's the outcome of this? Is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
You contemplate it. And what's another thing that what's the best thing to do when you get angry? You're in the UPK and you get angry. Yeah, your anger is overwhelming. You starting to feel fear. What should you be doing?
Counsel.
You should be on the phone.
Counsel.
You should be calling the brother. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Salaki, I got this situation going on. I feel like I'm ready to go off. You see what I'm saying? And brother gonna ask you, hey, where you at? You see what I'm saying? You know, brother even come with you. He gonna stay on the phone with you, get you through a situation. That's what the brotherhood is for. You see what I'm saying? That's how you deal with anger, man. Don't try to fight it and defeat it on your own. You know, anger has a hell of a record.
Right.
When it comes to destroying brothers and sisters. We ain't so special that it can't destroy us. You see what I'm saying? Get on the phone, man. Get on the phone. Reach out to your brother. Reach out to the men above you, your camp leader, the generals. You see what I'm saying? Reach out. Let them know what's going on. And let the men above you walk you through a situation and teach you how to deal with that anger in that moment.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was when you bring out real powerful, right? I'm be thinking about situations and stuff. The crafty counsel, right, to remove the man out the house, right, let a generation of like men to just who was raised, like I got a lot of men who was raised by like women.
Yeah.
So it's just like the way they deal with certain situations, you be like, yo, bro, what? But that's how I feel like a lot of people can't cope with their anger because of who they was taught by. And you know, the oppressor did the crafty counsel getting men out the house for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is powerful. But
see, and what you're saying is 100% correct, because like I've been saying, when a woman gets angry, she don't give a damn what she say, she don't give a damn what she do, and she feels justified. Like the scripture just say, a furious man cannot be justified. A woman feels justified just because she's angry.
right.
So when that mother is in that home and she's raising that young boy, you see what I'm saying? When she get mad at him or she get mad at his father, what she do? She run her mouth. She call all these names and whatnot. She throw things. She put her hands on people. You see what I'm saying? And guess what happens? Nothing.
Right.
So you a young child and you seeing your mother get away with this, and you seeing this is how she deal with her anger. When you coming up and you turn to a young man and then a full adult male, and no one has ever taught you how to deal with your anger but your mother, this is why you see the brothers in the streets. You know, can't fight, so they shoot. You see what I'm saying? If you say anything to them, they raising up. And the sad part is, it's not their fault. You see what I'm saying? It's not their fault. But this is why you have the priests of the Lord. They got to teach the young men how to deal with them emotions, how to deal with that anger. You see what I'm saying? Because it's destroying us daily. You see what I'm saying? Like brothers are waking up daily, and their only course of action today is to catch a body.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch me a body today. I'm smoking on this pack today. You see what I'm saying? Brothers wake up with that agenda because they were never taught how to deal with anger.
Right.
They were never taught how to deal with emotion. Like if you've ever got checked, you see what I'm saying? And the checking ain't always got to be in your face.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A check could be just, I'm telling you something that you're doing wrong, and I'm giving you the keys to do it the right way. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm telling you wrong. You wrong. This is the right way. Do it this way. It's a lot of brothers that can't take that correction out. You see what I'm saying? Everything gets so personal, and it gets to a point where as though, yo, you really don't mess with me anyway. That's the only reason you're saying that to me.
Right.
You're always saying something to me. You feel me? He don't say nothing to nobody else. As soon as I do something, he'll want to come at me like that. You feel me? I'm telling you, like, yeah. And that's how that's how you get placed to Satan right there. That's how you get placed to Satan. But that's also the same emotion that a woman operates with. Who are you to tell me anything?
Right.
You know, I've been in a situation, a woman tell you, you're not my father.
Right.
You're not my father. You don't tell me what to do. The response is, I'm your husband. I come before him too. So I do tell you what to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of our women are not comfortable with the fact that that man is not your equal. That man is your head. Thus saith the Lord. You feel me? That man is like, I always say, like, Christ is the head of man. The Most High is the head of Christ, and the man is the head of the woman. You feel me? As men, we can't go to Christ and tell Christ what the hell he going to do, how he going to do it, and when he's going to do it. You see what I'm saying? So if it's understood that we can't talk to Christ that way, if it's understood that Christ ain't going to talk to his father that way, why do you feel like it's okay for a woman to talk to her man that way? You feel me? It's not.
Right.
And just because you're angry, that does not give you permission to talk and run your mouth a certain way. Go ahead.
I want to say that the reason why is the Christianity. They don't put the woman on the pedestal, and a lot of families been raised by that. And so, like, the woman got the power in the household.
And that's also how to say that's how Satan destroys us. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Christian church is so harmful and such a disease in our community. You see what I'm saying? Because the only emotion that you're allowed to express in the Christian church is that of overwhelming happiness. You know, you can be as feminine or alternate lifestyle you want to be in there, and everything's okay. But the moment a man comes in there and he's angry, there's a big problem. You see what I'm saying? Women can be angry all day long.
Right.
They have the freedom to have that emotion. But as a man, no, you need to straighten up. What you coming to here angry for? You feel me? So this is why it's a plague, man. Instead of saying that a brother can't get angry, you feel me? We got to teach brothers how to deal with the anger.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we come up with two things already. First thing you should be doing is getting in contact with the school. You see what I'm saying? Everybody remember that. You see what I'm saying? When you get angry, get in contact with the school, man. You know, call that number, and if you whatever city you in, go on to ISBK.com, look up your city, and get that number and call. You feel me? And get some counsel. You see what I'm saying? These are the things we got to do, because the alternative, like I'd rather make that phone call and get checked for whatever I was going through in my own mind than for me to go out here and do something crazy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Get checked anyway, and then still got further consequences behind whatever action I was going to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what having leadership and having rank. That's what those things are there for. Those things are not just there to abuse brothers. You see what I'm saying? Those things are there to keep order, to keep peace amongst everybody. You see what I'm saying? Was it any more on that?
Sir.
Let me get
verse 23.
Go ahead, read that real quick.
Verse 23, a patient man will tear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
They say a patient man will tear for a time. You see what I'm saying? Meaning like it's gonna hurt. Sometimes it's gonna hurt you to be patient.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's gonna hurt to be patient, but you're gonna see the fruits of that patience in the long run.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So instead of you going out here and grabbing your firearm and doing something stupid, just be patient. Just be patient, and you'll realize you go to sleep, you take a nap, you get back up, and you're like, damn, I ain't even as angry as I was. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times that's the way it happens. You call a brother on the phone, brother talk to you, you may go lay down or something like that, sleep it off for a little bit, you get up, man, you don't feel that way. You may feel something, but you don't feel the same way that you felt in that moment. That's why you got to be patient with your anger. Everything does not require a direct response right away. You see what I'm saying? Everything don't require you to get back. Sometimes just be patient. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that probably he can run his mouth all he wants to. He can say, listen, you can talk crazy over there all you want to, you feel me? That don't mean I gotta jump.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Are you in any kind of immediate danger? That's not saying that a brother shouldn't protect himself at all. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's the way I view it. You see what I'm saying? Brothers can run their mouth all day long. They can talk. They can smoke all they want to, you feel me? But at the end of the day, if they start violating your space, they're getting too close, you see what I'm saying? You telling them back up. You know, just like we do at camp. You see what I'm saying? Brother getting too close, you tell them back up and be loud with them. You see what I'm saying? You doing this for his protection. You see what I'm saying? You giving him a chance to get the hell away from you, because by you saying back up, you're trying to de-escalate a situation. So if you saying back up and you got your hands out, that's a defense position. That means you're not the aggressor. So if something does go down in the court of law, people are going to remember that. They're going to remember you saying, hey, back up. They're going to remember you putting your hands up. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so good to be patient, man. Read that again.
One more time. Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 23. A patient man will tear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
Yeah, it said, and afterward joy shall spring up into him. You see what I'm saying? Like when you've been patient with your anger and you didn't act, or you didn't react off your emotion of being angry, and you can see a situation all the way through, they say joy is going to spring up from that, man. You don't know how many lives you just saved. All right. Everything has a trickle down effect. If I'm not patient and I go out here and I move crazy, you see what I'm saying? I get underlined, I go to jail. What happens to your family? What happens to the school? You see what I'm saying? You let your brothers down. It's people that depend on you that you letting down just because you got angry. All right. You see what I'm saying? However, you be patient and joy shall spring up, meaning like you being patient, you're still able to be there for the people that need you there. You see what I'm saying? You still there to do what the Lord intended for you to do, because you was not hasty. You was not moving in haste. You wasn't hasty to go and be angry and do all types of wickedness. You wasn't hasty to sin against the Lord. Defending yourself is not sinning against the Lord. But if you get so angry that you say, damn them scriptures, hey, God, I know my heart. I love him, but I got to get my get back right now. Nah, you sinning against the Lord right now. And the Lord will give you over to that spirit. Right. He will give you over to it. Next thing you know, now you're praying to him. Hey, Lord, please, if you get me out this situation, I'll never act like that again. You all excuses in the world then, you feel me? Make the excuse before you do the action. Make the excuse not to do the action. You see what I'm saying? That's what the patience is going to do. Have the patience to fight and pray to the Lord and talk to the Lord before you go out there and move against the Lord. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Before you move against the Lord, go to him first. You feel me? Any more on that?
Come, lots.
All right, drop that. Let me get Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29.
Come. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 20. I said 4 verse 29.
Proverbs 14 and 29.
Come. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. He that said, Salakia, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly.
So it say he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. You see what I'm saying? Like when you're slow to wrath, when you're slow, what's that?
We got trouble streaming Facebook. They just fucked up to just remove it.
It's not streaming to it. Huh? Yeah, so it say he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. That's what that is, man. Like that goes back to the scripture. It say pressure maketh a wise man angry, maketh a wise man mad. But then the scripture say, be angry and sin not. You see what I'm saying? That is being slow to wrath and having great understanding. The great understanding that is, yeah, you can be angry, you can feel some kind of way, but you allow the Lord to do what the Lord is going to do. You feel me? Right. You allow the Lord to seek whatever vengeance you feel like you deserve. You see what I'm saying? As a people, we should be so angry that it forces us to serve the Lord even further. Right. Even more. You see what I'm saying? Like when you start thinking about what didn't happen to our people, when you start thinking about what's going on and what's still happening to our people right now, how could you not feel anger? Right. You see what I'm saying? Anger is one of the only emotions you can feel when you see your people being oppressed and seeing your people being unalive and hunted. You see what I'm saying? But the wisdom of having patience with your wrath is that the Lord is going to take vengeance on behalf of us. You feel me? The Lord is going to return to them sevenfold what they doing to us. You see what I'm saying? But if we not doing what we supposed to do, and we still sinning against the Lord, why would he? Why would the Lord come back and punish somebody if we still disobeying and we still sinning against him too? Right. You see what I'm saying? This is why. Read that from the top.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly.
Yeah, he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly, meaning like he looks stupid, right? Right. You see what I'm saying? Like you get so angry, you get tricked out of position. You feel me? You look stupid. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens. Some people will trick you out of your position. They will do certain things because they know that they know you're a high head. You feel me? They know you one of them dudes. As soon as you say something to him, man, if I say something to him, he gonna play himself out of position. He gonna do something stupid. You feel me? We ain't even gotta worry about him. Right. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. And these other nations will do that. These other nations they're going to disrespect us. They're going to say little crazy things to us, you feel me? Especially if they feel like we ain't got no discipline. Right. They feel like we ain't got no understanding. We ain't got no patience when it comes to certain things. They'll disrespect us just to get a reaction out of us, you feel me? Because now they get to call the police. You see what I'm saying? Now they get to destroy our families. Right. That's why he that acts hastily, you see what I'm saying? That's why I say it's a folly. Like you look stupid, and that's just what it is. You feel me? Every little thing you blowing up about, every little thing you angry about. You see what I'm saying? Like have some patience, have some discipline.
It's like that. Like
when the people be doing them riots, and the whole time they be destroying their neighborhood, like, bro, we destroying where you live at.
Yeah, but that a lot of times that don't be the people that live
Oh,
there.
yeah, kind of understand it.
You know what I'm saying? They send people out for that kind of stuff. People, they report it like it's the people of the community. You feel me? But who in their right mind gonna do that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like we don't do no. That's not stuff that we do.
Right.
That's the spirit of the so-called white man. You feel me? He's the one that will burn a whole college town down because of a soccer game. You see what I'm saying? He'll burn his own stores. He'll burn all of those things because of a soccer game, because of a volleyball, because of whatever kind of athletic event. That's the spirit of him. We don't do stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? If you see us doing stuff like that, we've been paid.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Somebody that gave somebody some money and you doing it contractually. You see what I'm saying? Any more on that?
That's like the first Purge.
Say it again?
You ever seen the movie The First Purge?
No, I ain't never seen it.
Oh, it was like, you know The Purge, right?
Yeah, I know what it is. So.
Yeah, so they was the first one. They thought that the black community was going to be unaliving each other and doing a lot of crime during the first period. But what happened was, so they got mercenaries, devils and shit to come in so the stats can look bigger than what they was, because black people wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Chilling for it.
Yeah, but that's what they always want to do. They're gonna paint that narrative of, right. Oh man, they over there destroying the community. That's not what it is. I think they were saying, I think when they was doing when they was over in the protests in California, I think they said somewhere somebody, there was a whole pallet full of bricks that was dropped off near a store.
That's wild.
You see what I'm saying? Who in the hell dropping off a pallet full of bricks?
That's wild.
You know? That's it on that. Let me get James chapter 1 and verse 19.
James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brother, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Hey, this is very important right here, you know. This goes into a lot of the conflict that we have in our communities, you see what I'm saying? I said, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear. Swift to hear, like we gotta be quick to listen. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we moving and we reacting off of situations and we don't have the full context of something because we have not taken the time to listen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like what I was telling you, like at a sporting event, you got the sister running her mouth the whole time. As soon as the brother say something to her, now her husband coming over. Man, that's a female. What you talking to her for like that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Listen. They say, let every man be swift to hear. Hear the situation first.
Right.
Before you come in and you just declare judgment and you woofing on what you gonna do and what you ain't gonna do and you know how you gonna get down. Hear the situation first. Keep going.
Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
It says slow to speak. You see what I'm saying? Be slow to speak. Slow to speak. When tempers are flared and emotions are high and everybody's angry, every word is listened to carefully. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can say something that's going to turn a situation ugly, or you can say something that's going to quell a situation or settle down a situation. They say be slow to hear. They say be slow to be quick to hear and slow to speak, slow to wrath. You feel me? You shouldn't go into any situation. You shouldn't go into any situation full of wrath. You know what I'm saying? Because when you already made your mind up, listen, I'm going over here. I'm telling you now, as soon as I get here, listen, it's on. I'm hitting such and such. I'm doing. You come with that intention, that's how brothers lose their life, man.
Right.
That's how sisters lose their life. You see what I'm saying? you come into any situation, man, be patient. Like, be ready to hear what's going on. You see what I'm saying? And that comes with you seeking peace. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. There's a time. There's a time for everything. There's a time to go to war. There's a time for that kind of energy. You see what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, in our communities, that's not the time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you look at a lot of the so-called, I ain't gonna say so-called, if you look at a lot of the gang wars within our communities, you got brothers unaliving each other, and they don't even know why.
Right.
I don't know why you my op.
Right.
I just know you from over there, and I'm from over here. You see what I'm saying? But then it's seldom, but you'll see two opposing brothers. One from right around the corner. You see what I'm saying? Because it'd be that close in proximity. He live right around the corner, but that's your op. And somehow y'all started talking and whatnot. Realize y'all got so much in common.
Right.
We both didn't experience hell. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, I can't really be mad at you because like we family live the same life. We come from the same place. You see what I'm saying? But what happens if you don't have that conversation with that brother? You see what I'm saying? What happens if sisters don't allow? What happens when sisters don't talk? You see what I'm saying? I've seen sisters fight now. You see what I'm saying? And sisters can be very vicious. I done seen sisters, you know, they throw the bleach. They get them razor blades out. You see what I'm saying? They throw the bleach or alcohol on that. You see what I'm saying? Sisters can be very vicious. What happens when they just talk out? You see what I'm saying? Like if you ever sat there and had it, which all of us have, you'd have had to have conversations with your rib about something that y'all disagreed about, and y'all, you know, you had to check her. You feel me? A lot of times when you sit there and talk, you can get through an issue. You feel me?
Right.
But it's only when you quick to speak. It's only when she's quick to speak and no one wants to listen that the situation escalates. You see what I'm saying? That's why counsel is so important. That's why counsel is so important, because in counsel, that's what you got to do. You have to listen. You got to listen. Then you speak when you're told to speak. But other than that, you're listening. You ever heard? You ever been in a situation where once you started speaking about the situation, it sounded so crazy. Like you was passionate about it before. You ever been say you had an argument and you sit there and you start talking about what you were arguing about. This is when you're not mad.
Right.
And you don't even want to say it out loud because it's so petty. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, we beefing over this. You and your homeboy, y'all beefing over a juice. Yeah, why you grab my juice? Why you do this? You see what I'm saying? Now y'all fighting. And y'all sit down and talk and actually sit there and say what the offense is. Yeah, you took my juice. I ain't get a chance to drink it. It was mine, but you drunk out of it before me. You said, like, what we talking about? It sounds crazy when you sit there and actually listen to the things that people beef over, the things that people wrongfully use their anger in. That's why when it comes to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, listen, we got to have patience with each other. We got to have patience with each other. We just can't keep getting angry and being so mad at each other that we can't, you know, sit down and have simple dialogue. We can't sit down and talk to each other. You see what I'm saying? Us talking to each other will save a lot of lives.
Right.
Baltimore averages what, 350 murders a year? I can almost guarantee you 3/4 of those murders did not have to happen if brothers sat there and talked to each other.
Right.
Brothers hear stories, or brothers get the truth after they unalive somebody. Then you feel crazy because you knew you didn't have to do it.
Right.
Keep on.
Verse 20. For the man, Salakia, for the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God.
And say, for the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God, man. Your anger and your fury does not equate to the Most High's righteousness.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like because you angry and because you mad and you full of wrath and you ready to sin against the Lord. Listen, that's not the righteousness of the righteousness of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord say, "Vengeance is mine." I don't care how you feel. You see what I'm saying? If you feel some kind of way and you so strong about how you feel, let your obedience speak for you. You see what I'm saying? Let you do what the Lord is telling you to do. Like you got kids, like if you got kids, this makes perfect sense. You see what I'm saying? Because kids, you ever see kids, man, they start going at each other about the smallest thing. One come down and say one thing, the other one come down and say the other. You feel me? You don't know who's right in that situation. But the way that you can tell, who's right is by the one who listens and starts to be obedient. You see what I'm saying? Like if I tell you, y'all fighting over a toy or something like that, and I say, listen, this is what we're gonna do. Y'all gonna share the toy. You gonna hold it for 10 minutes, you gonna hold it for 10 minutes, you feel me? Now you start to see the spirit of everybody. You're gonna have that one child that anger is going to flare. I'm not sharing nothing. Then you're gonna have one that may be obedient and say, you know what, I don't mind doing that. That one who say, you know what, I don't mind doing that, she's being obedient because that's what she was told, he or she was told to do. That's what we have to do as it pertains to the Lord. That one who say, you know what, I'm not sharing nothing. This is mine. I'm going to do what I want to do with it. You feel me? Just because you feel that way, that's not the righteousness of the Most High. You feel me?
Right.
You think you so passionate and you so tough in this moment that you think the Lord can't humble your anger.
Right.
The Lord will humble that anger. You feel me? And you'll be begging to be back into His graces. You feel me?
Mm. The Lord say He gonna laugh at your calamity.
Yeah. Yeah. Lord said, I will laugh at your calamity. You feel me? You know, when you're going through the worst time of your life, the Lord is sitting there and He's mocking you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so important for us, man, to do what the Lord say. Like we got to get in the habit of doing what the Lord say and not what we think.
Right.
Like what we think does not matter. What does He say? You see what I'm saying? Like, and that comes down with anything. That comes down with the smallest thing. Like, that's why, you know, we keep harping on the fact that, you know, if you feel offended, if you feel angry, it's okay.
Right.
But know what to do with your anger. If you don't know what to do, pick that phone up, get your counsel, you see what I'm saying, and get yourself out of that situation. Now, you got a lot of brothers and sisters who won't even do that. You know what happens? They go out there and they do whatever they was going to do, and then they call after the fact.
Right.
Just because you called after the fact don't make you righteous. You see what I'm saying? To make you righteous is calling before the fact, before whatever you was going to do happened. So you could get so a brother could give you the wisdom to not do what you're about to do. And that's the problem that we have in our community a lot of times. You know, you ever hear the phrase, it's easier to seek forgiveness than permission? Yeah, so a lot of people live by that. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'll just ask you forgiveness. Instead of me just being obedient to what you're saying in the first place. Because if I'm obedient to what I got to say, to what you say in the first place, I don't need you to forgive me because I have not offended you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people operate off that principle. And that's not the right principle to operate off of. You feel me? That's the spirit of this oppressor that we are. Do what the hell you want to do, then beg, then plead for forgiveness afterwards. You feel me? After you done did all manners of wickedness, you know, that's not how the Lord works. Read that scripture again, Brother Sure.
God. James chapter 1, verse 20. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
Yeah, the wrath of man does not work the righteousness of God. You feel me? Like what you feel and what you think, that does not equate to the righteousness of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? I don't care how passionate you feel about it. You know, you would be some people. You ever see somebody they so enraged, man, that tears are coming down their eyes. That kind of person, if the anger is not checked, they the kind of person that usually end up in the graves or behind prison walls for the rest of their life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is why it's so important to learn how to govern them emotions and govern that particular emotion of anger, because that's the one that can either hurt yourself or hurt somebody else.
Right. All right, question. So for instance, what if you lend somebody some money, they don't pay you back, you keep asking for it, if you do what you do? Because like in the world, you think like, yo, I got to handle this, like, nah, play with me.
So you all right. So you make a deal with a brother, a financial deal. You say you loan him some money. You see what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden you don't want to pay you back.
Right.
Yeah, in the world, it's telling you go get with him. If you don't get with him, you look like a sucker. You see what I'm saying? But you get with him, guess what you're gonna be needing? You're gonna be needing money.
Oh yeah, to get out of there.
You're gonna be needing money if you get with them the way you want to. You see what I'm saying? If you loan someone some money and they refuse to pay you back, you go to them, hey, listen, we had an agreement amongst us. You see what I'm saying? Like, we had an agreement. You ain't trying to honor your agreement. You know, you go to them and it's like, man, you know what? F you. I don't care about that. You ain't getting this money. You feel me? If that money is all that it took for me to cut you off, you feel me? I'm gonna let that money hang you. You see what I'm saying? Because a person like that, I don't even want him around me anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not only the fact that he wouldn't give me my money back, but the fact that I went to him and he still tried to carry it. You feel me? What's gonna happen is we're gonna wind up getting into it anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I know I was always raised with, the principle: if you can't lose it, don't loan it. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, because if a person is struggling financially, you see what I'm saying, and they ask to borrow some money, it's gonna be that harder. It's gonna be that much harder for them to repay you anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, if you're gonna give it, give it. You see what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, if y'all have an agreement, you feel me, that person should honor that agreement. But if they don't, and you go to them and they still like, listen, you ain't getting that money back, you feel me? That'll be the last thing that we do like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, because you showing me you ain't got no respect for me. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, I done came to you.
Right.
I done did what the Lord told me to do. You feel me? If you're gonna carry it like that, so be it. Now, if you're in the school and that happens, what should you do?
Go to council.
Go to council. And that situation will be rectified. But if you're in the world and you do that, you see what I'm saying? The moment hey, you ain't get this money back, I know we had an agreement, you feel me? I'm cutting you off. That's how it works. Let me get Psalms 37 and 8, brother, for sure.
Come. Psalms chapter 37, verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Read that one more time, brother, for sure.
Come. Psalms chapter 37, verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath.
And say, cease from anger, you feel me? Like, cease from anger and forsake wrath. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you cease from anger and forsake wrath, that's you making a plan to do something.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm so angry, I'm gonna go do X, Y, and Z. They say forsake that wrath. You see what I'm saying? Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Like, don't set yourself up to do nothing evil. You feel me? That evil is sinning against the Lord.
Right.
This is saying that you're ready to do something with your anger that the Lord told you not to do. You see what I'm saying? That's not saying that you can't be angry. That's not what this is saying. But it's saying you sitting up there and you making plans to do something wicked now. You making plans to do something that the Lord told you not to do at this point. You feel me? That's what the Lord is telling you not to do. You see what I'm saying? And far too often, that's what happens. You know, you sitting there and you fret, you going back and forth from what you should do. The brother say he ain't gonna give you your money back. So you saying, listen, I know where you work at. I'm gonna catch him slipping. You say I'm gonna run up on him. This, that, and the third. You feel me? That is evil according to the Lord.
All right.
Even though you got a right to be angry, you feel me? With you now, with the plans that you're conceiving, that you're conjuring up, the Lord considers that to be evil, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times that's how we trick ourselves out of position, because we'll do those things because we living by so-called street rules. You see what I'm saying? He playing with my money, man. They gonna think I'm a whore. They think I'm a whore, so now I'm gonna have to, you know, I can show them that. Despite the fact the Lord told you not to. So whose honor, whose respect matters the most? The streets or the Most High?
The Most High.
That's what it comes down to. A lot of times when you're in those situations, it comes down to whose respect and whose obedience are you seeking? Are you seeking to be obedient to the Most High, or are you seeking to be obedient to the streets?
Right. Question. So, lawfully, you on defense, you never on offense. You know what I'm saying? You never go out. Like if situation happens, you don't get no get back. You always on like defense, so you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody
no, it's not. It's not saying that you don't get back. It's just like you don't get back the way you see fit. You don't get to get back. Like that's not saying you just sit there and take everything. You see what I'm saying? There's other ways that you can do things to get your get back. But the way we typically want to do it is sinning against the Lord and doing something that's going to put us in a compromising position. Right. You see what I'm saying? But you're not to be a doormat or be no sucker for nobody. You see what I'm saying? There are things that we can do. And that's why it's so important to call and get counsel about these situations. You know, you may be told, listen, this is what you need to go do. You need to file this. You need to do this. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to sit there and allow somebody to do something to you and feel like, well, shit, ain't nothing I can do. No. But you always get counsel. So depending on the situation, every situation ain't the same. So the counsel may be different for every situation. But when it talks about, I'm assuming that you're talking about the get back being some kind of physical retaliation or something like that. You feel me? Yeah, you don't want to. You definitely don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? Because you play sports, so you know how things go. Who get caught?
The second person.
The second person always get caught. You feel me? With the Lord, you always get caught. Right. You see what I'm saying? Somebody hits you, the ref don't see it. You go to hit them back. That's what they gonna see. The Lord is gonna see it every time you do it. You see what I'm saying? So now it's not you're not supposed to whip a whipping stick for nobody. Somebody that can do what they want and walk all over you and stuff like that. No, that's not what this is saying. Right. But going out there and doing it the way you think you should do it, no, that's not the way. Read that from the top.
Psalm chapter 37, verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Yeah, you gotta forsake that wrath, man. Like it's a story in the Bible. It's in Genesis where the two brothers, Abraham, the sister, Jacob, the sisters, they all were. The nation all were. You feel me? So it was Levi and Simeon. Jacob was going to go up there and kind of make a marriage between the two to kind of keep peace in the land. You familiar with that story?
I believe so.
Yeah, the dude took their sister. And that's it. You see what I'm saying? So they went and they exacted vengeance. You see what I'm saying? Simeon and Levi, they exacted vengeance on that entire nation of men. You feel me? Slaughtered them all. You know, told them that they was going to join the covenant with them. So they had to circumcise the foreskin, and while they was in pain, they went and they slaughtered all of them. You feel me? Jacob rebuked that. He rebuked that. You see what I'm saying? He rebuked the wrath that they had. You see what I'm saying? Because that was not of the Lord. Now, we can all understand it from a human emotional level.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you didn't allow the Lord to do what the Lord was going to do for them. You see what I'm saying? The vengeance that our nation would have got if the Lord did it would have been 10 times better than what happened in that situation, leaving it up to them two brothers. And that's what happens a lot of times, because when we do things on our own, like when we do stuff on our own accord, we don't realize that may stop the Lord from actually exacting revenge on a person he was about to.
Right.
Because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. That's why it's so important for you to just be obedient, stay out your feelings, you see what I'm saying? Get the counsel, you feel me, and learn to harness that anger. Yeah, let me get yeah. Ain't no questions online?
Nah, so
Let me get Proverbs. One second. Let me get Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
And say a soft answer turneth away wrath. You see what I'm saying? But grievous words stir up anger. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the relationship between a husband and a wife, you see what I'm saying? Like that woman don't know. That soft answer will get you anything. 9 times out of 10, that soft answer is going to get you everything you want. You see what I'm saying? But the moment you want to go to war, you want to answer all disrespectful and all tough, and now we got to go to war with this. You see what I'm saying? Everything don't require a battle. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to use wisdom in certain situations. Like sometimes when we on the street and we at camp, sometimes a soft answer can turn away wrath. You see what I'm saying? And it can serve a greater purpose than to just going straight to wrath. Everything don't require, like the scripture say, blessed are the peacekeepers. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not saying that you always talk gentle and you always, give a soft answer. What it's saying is you got to have the wisdom. You got to have the wisdom in these situations. You got to have the wisdom to say, you know what? If I say it this way, I'm going to get more out of the situation than if I say it this way.
Is that like when you be having situations with people and like you know in your head, like, yo, this conversation is dumb. I'm not even going to argue with you. You right. Okay. When they on rap, they going ham, and you just be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, a lot of times you're going to be in situations where you know you can't reason with someone.
Right.
So here's the two options. Either y'all are going to walk away from each other, or y'all going to have to handle whatever it is between y'all.
Right.
And you're going to have to handle it all the way. You see what I'm saying? So in those situations, is it worth me going to the left and handling the situation in its totality?
Right.
Or is this a situation I just, you go your way, I go my way? I know if I say this, we're going to get down and we're going to have to handle this. Is it worth what I got going on? You see what I'm saying? Is it worth the embarrassment of my school?
Right.
Is it worth the embarrassment of my family?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or can I give a reasonably soft answer to quell this situation? And that's where the wisdom comes in, man. You be in situations where you be in situations where you know something could have been avoided, but somebody always got to say something slick out their mouth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's not what the Lord is calling for. You see what I'm saying? Like when we at camp, we at war. When we at camp, we are at war.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times, and a lot of situations that we're in is warfare.
Right.
We're in warfare probably 90% of the time. Damn near 100% of the time, we're in warfare. You feel me? So you got to operate with wisdom. You got to operate with a certain level of what's the word? And like
Decorum.
Decorum, right? Everything don't require a slick ass. Like if you look at Paul, you know, when he could have went back when people questioned him on things, he could have went back a certain way. He used wisdom. He was real crafty. You see what I'm saying? He didn't give a wrathful answer. He gave a soft answer, but it was crafty. You look at Yahushua. When they try to confound Yahushua, he gave witty answers to a lot of their questions. You see what I'm saying? If he would have responded in wrath, situations would have got out of hand in a way in which the Most High didn't intend it to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just more so having that. The cool word.
I was gonna say in retrospect too, because when Christ and Yahushua and Paul was doing it, the people was asking them questions. It make them look worse. You know what I'm saying? Because every time, like, I be laughing at the scriptures because the Most High, Christ be literally clowning the Pharisees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With his answers, he not wrathful in his answers, but he just be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so in retrospect, it make them look even worse.
You make them look crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But that, like, that's like Deuteronomy say, Christ was the best campster. Because he cut all of them Pharisees, all of them say, he cut them to piss. You see what I'm saying? And the way he did it was so elegant. You know what I mean? But just going, if you're looking at that anger emotion, like I remember General Hyman saying one time, he said, your emotion should be like a light switch. You see what I'm saying? Your emotion should be like a light switch, meaning I turn this emotion on when I want to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I decide when I'm angry. I decide when I'm sad. I decide when I'm mad. Does this situation call for me to be angry in it? If so, I'm going to get angry. Does this situation cause me to be sad? If so, yeah, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be sad. You know, you see something happen to a child, that's a sad moment. You feel me?
Right.
You know, you could be sad in that moment. You make the decision to be that way, though. Because what happens when you do not make the decision to be that way and someone makes it for you?
They got control over it.
They have control over you. You see what I'm saying? And that's how Satan will destroy you. Because he'll take control over you. If you can say something to me and you can get me angry and get me out of character, you have full control over me. I don't even have control over myself no more.
Right.
So you can press buttons and you can pick and choose. Okay, I want to see what Ty's about angry. Okay, I want to see what Ty's about sad. I want to see him happy. No, like you should have full control over your emotions to where no man can press buttons and control how you feel about something.
All right.
And that comes with discipline, but it also comes with learning these scriptures, man. That comes with learning that you have a power that's going to fight for you. You feel me? So even when you feel like you should be, even when you get into that moment where you feel like you want vengeance on something, you feel me? That should be the thing that make you serve the Lord even more.
Right.
Make you go even harder in whatever you're doing. Let me get Nahum chapter 1 and 3.
Nahum chapter 1 verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power.
And say the Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is very slow to anger. Like when the Lord get angry, people die.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm just straight up what it is. When the Lord gets angry, people die, children die, babies die, men, women, everybody, elderly. When the Lord gets angry, people die. It say the Lord. So like it say, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
And will not at all acquit the wicked.
It say he will not at all acquit the wicked. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is not going to allow the wicked to get away with what they get away with.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so important for us to do things according to what the Lord has commanded us. Because the Lord will hold back judgment on the wicked because we want to take things in our own hand. He's telling us, I will not at all acquit the wicked. Keep going.
The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
It said, Lord has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't realize, like we just seen what happened in Texas, right?
Right.
We seen what happened in Texas. We seen what happened in California a few months ago. The wildfires. You got to realize that the Lord is behind all of these things, man.
Right.
Like we think that we doing something by getting angry and acting out and doing things the way we want to. The Lord saying, listen, vengeance is mine. Let me show you how to get justice.
Right.
Do what I'm telling you to do and allow me to punish the people that oppress you. You see what I'm saying? This is why we have to follow what the Lord say. That's why we can't make excuses for our anger. No, like your anger, your anger is not an excuse for you to do whatever the hell you want to, especially as it pertains to the Lord.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why the scripture earlier that we read, it said, your anger will destroy you, man. Read it from the top of the show.
Come. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all equip the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
As I say, the Lord has his way. You see what I'm saying? Like the Lord has his way, like them stones gonna do what the Lord wants them to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's how the Lord's vengeance is. But he's slow to wrath. But when it's like he's slow to anger and great in power. You see what I'm saying? When the Lord comes through and the Lord declares judgment and the Lord sends his wrath through, it's nothing remotely close to how we do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we call ourselves doing something because we got get back on the one person that did something to us. The Lord said, I'm going to get back on the entire nation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's levels to this. Like it's levels. You see what I'm saying? That's what we gotta realize, man. Stay obedient to the Lord, man. Do what we're supposed to do. Stop being so overly emotional, you feel me? If you're a young man, if you're an older man watching this class, you feel me? This is what I want you to take from it. Your anger is not excuse.
Right.
Your anger is not excuse to be wicked. Your anger is not excuse to sin against the Lord. You feel me? You will still be punished. You will be punished by the Lord for doing things that he told you not to do, despite the fact that you felt so passionate about your anger. You see what I'm saying? If you feel angry, if you feel like you gotta get something off your chest, you gotta argue with a brother, the first thing you should be doing is going to that brother. You feel me? Don't wait for tomorrow. You know, don't wait for you to see him again. Call that brother up. You see what I'm saying? Deal with your situation, man. Get that, you know, because if you don't, you're going to give place to Satan, man. That's when all the resentment coming in, and you women too. When you get angry at your husband, when you get angry at that other woman you think is just trying to take him, you see what I'm saying? You better go to her. You better go to her and her alone. You brothers, go to him and him alone. You see what I'm saying? Don't let the sun go down on your wrath, lest you give place to Satan, man. And that's what you see a lot in our communities. We give it place to Satan because we're not doing the things that the Lord told us to do, man. You know, if you're in situations where, you know, you're being mistreated by law enforcement and stuff like that, just as a recap, you see what I'm saying? Your way of fighting that is to get out of the situation first. Your way of fighting that is not by, the police, they're there to arrest you.
Right.
They got people above them that's going to enforce certain laws. You see what I'm saying? So they the people that you need to be talking to. So stay compliant. You see what I'm saying? But make sure you get badge number, make sure you get names, make sure you get precincts, and you follow up. You don't have to be a punching bag for nobody.
Right.
You don't have to be abused by nobody. You see what I'm saying? But it's going to take some effort because you got to go down to that police. You got to go down to that precinct right away, and then follow up in the morning. If they ain't trying to hear you, if they being rude, they call every hour on the hour. You see what I'm saying? Something will happen. That's how we fight. That's how we take our anger out. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the Lord can stand behind because we're doing it His way. You see what I'm saying? So this class, like I said, it's intended because it's a lot of our brothers and a lot of our sisters out here that's moving, and we're full of anger. We're so full of anger and we're making irrational mistakes, man, because we feel like our anger justifies every decision that we make when it does not. It's a lot of brothers right now sitting in prison regretting the fact for that 20 seconds that they was mad for pulling that trigger.
Right.
Or stabbing that brother or kicking that brother head and while he was on the ground because you was mad. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers doing 20 to life because of anger. There's a lot of sisters that's been unalived. There's a lot of sisters that's been maimed because of anger. We have to control our anger. You see what I'm saying? And if you need help, if you don't know what to do in those situations, all you got to do is pick up the phone, call the ISUPK and get counseling. And with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And at this time, we're going to call up Officer Denai for reading of the security laws. Shalom.
These are the security announcements. We are ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They're here to shut themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew is pronounced Mayashua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming Holy Convocation is September 22nd. Is it at the yes, the Feast of the Blowing Trumpets. Remind Akim and Abwakim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And then with that, Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amayim Shabbat, Amayim Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Rakatah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Rakatah.
Yahweh Batah, class dismissed.
They need food, housing, clothing. They need counseling. They need understanding of what's happened to them. They need an identity. They need to know the truth about the Lord. They need to be woke up to who the devil is. The white man. That's what the hell they need. And you add that to black people, Latinos, that they give you, brother, then you're going to be able to do something. For you. The whole reason I'm here saying these things to you, because these things are supposed to show you and give you hope. It's supposed to make you say to yourself, you know what, we got a kingdom.